We are live. I've got James V. But first of all, got to play him this song that he's just asked for.
Oh, thank you, dear.
Breaking, you're breaking, and I can see the pain in your eyes. And everybody changing, and I don't know why. So little time, try to understand that I'm trying to make a move just to stay in the game and try to stay awake and remember my name. But everybody's changing and I don't feel the same. There we go. That's all we've got time for because the show's about you, James, not the song. But my first question is always, why did you choose that song?
Ooh. Well, dude, seriously, coming on live and playing a guitar and singing a song like that, you're braver than I am anyway. Why did I choose that song? Number one, it's quite a cool, relaxing song, isn't it? I'd seen your list. I thought, oh, keen, I've not heard that for years. And second of all, everyone's changing. I'm in the business of change. Look, everyone is changing. Let's embrace it. Let's go with it. Let's go with it and let's make some good stuff happen. That's all I say.
Fantastic. And that's the thing, right? And I, when you said that song, I thought, I wonder if that's why he's chosen it. Because the thing is with coaching is we're trying to evoke change and trying to help people to see outside the box that we get stuck in. So we'll investigate that a little bit further. Because just tell us a little bit about yourself, please, James.
Yeah, I'm the person that helps everybody else. So the person that helps all of the people that help everybody else, should I say. So I coach coaches.
Wow.
Business coaches. So I've worked in sport, I've worked in business, and and my job is to create change in a really positive, productive way that's, changing people's lives for the better, financially and emotionally in business as well.
Yeah, and that's the great thing. That's why I love coaching people. It's because you do see the changes. I don't know if you saw my post on LinkedIn today, but we don't tend to value what we do. But I had a lovely message from someone yesterday, and it just you know that you're doing the right thing, which is great. So you're up doing some training today with a load of action coaches, helping them to become better coaches. Is that right?
Well, only a few action coaches in particular, but a lot of their people that they're working with as well. So I'm in a training center in Milton Keynes of all places. So there you go.
Fantastic. That's not a Milton Keynes accent. Where are you from?
No, I'm from West Yorkshire. So I'm from West Yorkshire originally, live in Nottingham, work everywhere in the UK. So.
Yeah, you get about a bit, don't you? Okay, yeah. So couple of questions about LinkedIn though. So what do you like about LinkedIn?
Being connected with people. I like the fact that some smart person has made a really good bit of a software that everybody can use to connect with each other, share things with each other. It's very businessy as far as social media goes. So it kind of works in that business world. Of course, there's different social platforms for different things, but yeah, it's a very sophisticated platform. It connects everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you post much of your own content, James?
Yeah, everything I do on LinkedIn, I try to be as authentic as possible. I think there's a lot of selling that's going on out there. So yeah, posting content, making comments on other people's posts. Yeah, I'll do it myself rather than someone else in the team doing it. I think, social media is supposed to be a social thing, not necessarily an advertising board, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So many people like you have definitely got it and they're doing some great things, but so many other people just don't get it and think it's just a way to just sell everything.
I think it's part of the curve for people. You have to learn.
Yeah.
You learn from doing things and you learn from things not working, and there's just a lot of people learning.
Yeah. And again, do you teach LinkedIn to your coaches or recommend that they do LinkedIn? Because I guess that's where you're going to find a lot of your business, isn't it?
We do teach LinkedIn. I mean, it's a channel, not a strategy in marketing. So LinkedIn is a channel for visibility. It's not a marketing strategy per se. You can get very specific on how you're using LinkedIn and all that kind of thing, but really it's a channel for visibility. So yeah, we do teach that, and we get specialists in to really teach you it and take you up to the next level. And I think you're one of the specialists in that area as well, aren't you, sir?
I know a little bit about LinkedIn.
Well, you've taught me a thing or two, haven't you?
Well, since we've last spoken, I've become an author.
Oh, look at that.
So look, it's yellow t-shirt everywhere.
Yeah.
So
That's your trademark color, is it? Yellow.
it is now.
Brazil.
Well, so Australia were playing their match, and my wife turned around and said,
very Australian-esque.
"Yeah, they got the same color as you, Ash."
Yeah.
So there you go. So I think they were before I chose my colors, and I obviously know nothing about football, so I wouldn't have realized it was Australian colors. But hey, there you go. So you're busy. You work with coaches predominantly.
Yep.
What are the struggles that coaches are having at the moment, then, James? That you reckon?
What are the struggles? Look, I think coaches are human beings, yeah. So let's just acknowledge what's going on in the world for a second. Rising inflation, economic uncertainty. They're all human beings. They've got family. They've got struggles of life. So everybody's got struggles in life. It just depends how we deal with them. So we deal with situations. We evolve. We innovate wherever possible or wherever needed. And but there's one thing I do believe about coaching, and it's in 50 years from now, the best coaches will still be the best coaches. So they'll be doing the best coaching practice. They'll ask the best questions. They'll challenge you the hardest. They'll get you focused more than anyone else. They'll hold you accountable more than anyone else. They'll adapt to you and your situation and get you doing things better than anyone else can. And the best coaches will still do that. So that's evergreen. That's not changing. Everything else, economics, situations, technology, it's all changing. So you just got to ebb and flow through the changes, make changes, water off a duck's back, be resilient. And yeah, so I mean, look, they're just the same as everybody else. They've got to do that, but they've got to hone their coaching skills. Because for a coach, it's not about me. It's not about the coach. It's about the coachee. If the person you're coaching wins, the coach wins.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. I don't know about you, but I get my people to text me. They say, "Oh, well, I'm going to go and do that," and I said, "Right, text me to let me know you've done it." And it's just brilliant, isn't it? You get a nice message back. Yeah. They've done this. It's worked. Da, 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 da. Yeah, it's absolutely great. So what makes a good coach, James? Because obviously you've seen people come in totally green. Is that right?
Yeah. So what did you say? Totally green.
Totally green, yeah. So they've never coached before, and then
totally pure.
Yeah.
Right, well, let's get an example of this for whoever's watching this right now. So, what makes the best coaches? So let's consider who's the best coach in the Premier League. Who's the best coach in the Premier League? The best manager? Who do you think? You choose one.
I haven't a clue because I know nothing about football. Right, I support Leeds, James. How would I know anything about football?
Leeds are a good team. They're doing well. They've got an American coach as well. American, USA, England earlier on this week. Ooh, it was tough, wasn't it? Let's just go with Man City for a second, because you might not follow football, but you don't need to follow football to use your mind's eye on this one. So they've got a manager called Pep Guardiola. He's a coach,
and he's just signed a 2-year deal. I know that.
Right. So what do you think he does? What do you think he actually does on a daily basis? Just shout out some. What do you think?
Talks to the guys, make sure they're okay.
Talks to the guys, make sure they're okay.
Yeah. Looks at other teams, see what other teams are doing.
Yeah. Analyzes the marketplace.
Yeah.
See what else. See what the competition's doing. How hard do you think he pushes the team? He's the best in the world. Bear in mind, he's the best in the world. How hard do you think he pushes the team?
Very hard.
What standards do you think he sets? Crazy.
Yeah, 100%, 100% every day. You've all got to deliver.
Listen to the team, and how much does he get them all firing in the same direction, getting the best out of themselves in every moment of time, and when something goes wrong, works it out. The best coaches in sport like that, you can take inspiration from them. Now there is a big thing here. You don't have to be like Pep Guardiola. Because despite what's going on in world politics, we do have a democracy. And everybody can be themselves. So leadership used to be, I'm the boss, I'm the king or queen, you do what I say. Not anymore. Not in our society. No. There's loads of ways to be a leader. There's loads of ways to be a manager. There's loads of ways to be a coach. What's really important is that, like for our coaches, what I would say to them is, number one, be yourself. Number two, set the standard. Number three, tell the truth. Like that's not an entry level philosophy in coaching. That's actually a high performance philosophy in coaching, that one. So be yourself, set the standard, tell the truth. In some ways, Pep Guardiola at Man City will do something like that, but he'll do a lot more than that because his philosophy is a lot deeper than that. And let your philosophy develop over time, but you don't have to be a Pep. I don't need to be a Pep. I've got my own philosophy, and Jim Rohn said it, Anthony Robbins said it. The single biggest determining factor of where you end up is in your philosophy. There you go. So develop one. If you're a coach, develop a coaching philosophy. If you're a leader, develop your leadership philosophy. If you're a salesperson, develop your sales philosophy.
Brilliant advice. I love that. So everybody needs a coach. Okay, we know that, but right. so many people don't. When you talk to people, oh, that's all woo woo and stuff like that. What would you say to those people?
This is exactly what I say to those people. Can you tell me how to do it then, please? Because I don't know how you do it. I've got 5 coaches that work with me. I've got 5 different coaches that work with me for me to get the best out of myself, for me to perform, for me to hit my big objectives and my dreams and goals. I can't do it without a coach. I literally cannot do it without a coach. I know as soon as I, like, for example, one of my coaches is PT. As soon as I miss a session or something like that, he drops down. But when he just drops down. So if anyone says, well, I don't need a coach, I just say, tell me how to do it then.
That's a great question.
How are you getting the best out of yourself? Is life too easy for you? But ultimately, at the same time, I wouldn't preach that because you got a choice. All right. Well, there you go. That's up to you. I'd like to know how you do it though, if that's all right.
Yeah, and the thing I think of is all these top sporting people. They've all got coaches. The best tennis player in the world has got a coach. The best footballer in the world has got a coach. They're all, the best golfer. They've all got coaches. So there must be something in it.
It's like a tennis player, getting a coach. All right, I'll have a coach. They get to the top 3 in the world, and yes, we're there now. I don't need a coach anymore. Let's, imagine a football team doing that in the Premier League. Imagine oh yeah, no, we're all right. We're in the top 4 now. We don't need a coach. We'll just self-manage. We'll let the players take care of it. They'll do it themselves. It's unheard of. That's why, and because coaching's been around in sport for so long, so everyone gets it. Coaching's not been around in business that long. It's actually only been around in business 30 years, or 3 decades. Coaching in sport's been around over a millennium. That's a huge history. 30 years in business, and I only know that because Brad Sugars founded it in 1993. There was no such thing as business coaching. Consulting, advice, but no such thing as business coaching. So it's relatively new, and it's only just beginning to come out there with podcasts and all this kind of thing that you see.
No, perfect. So I'm looking to set up my own coaching business. Why would I come to Action Coach? Because you do an awful lot, but what would I gain as a coach being an Action Coach?
Well, the obvious answers are, look, these are the biggest 3 reasons why people come to us. Number 1 is to earn more money. Number 2 is to actually build a business systematically so that they get the time back. So it's not essentially always dependent on themselves. Number 3 is to get the team working better. Now, what wraps all of those 3 together is accelerated growth to speed things up. What you've got in Action Coach is it's a systematic process. Without a doubt, there's a system, there's a framework, there's guidance to support you. Plus, you've got a coach that also takes you through the mindset development and you're developing yourself as in leadership and management and as business owner and a business leader in your own right. So I think Action Coach sits really nicely in the marketplace where it's very strong systematically at growing and building a real business. And secondly, it does it with a lot of mindset, a lot of self-development, a lot of learning and nurturing at the same time. So it's got both the elements there. So it's definitely not a life coaching business. But let me tell you, the level of personal development and mindset that comes with the way that Action Coach coaches is very, very high. Plus, they've got a huge infrastructure of coach support behind. So every coach has a coach. There's 26 coaches in the UK for Action Coaches.
Brilliant. Brilliant. No, it's a massive resource. And you do so many other things. So I came across you when you were doing the Friday, the Friday finish, when you were chatting to the amazing Marcus Sheridan. So that was a cool interview, wasn't it?
Yeah, I do loads of interviews. So Marcus is just I just love hanging out with him, really, to be honest. He's just a really chilled out guy. His level of knowledge and expertise on a single subject is massive. So, when you're speaking to someone that's ridiculously credible because they're just on the money with the comments and know-how. So he is that absolutely in marketing, and specifically web-based marketing. So it's really kind of niched in that. He's got an amazing book. But the most special thing about Marcus Sheridan is he's an amazing guy. He's so down to earth. He's so relaxed. He's so relatable. He's so inspirational. You just feel like you're walking on water afterwards. So my job on the Big Friday finish, like you say, is you've mentioned Marcus, but I'm with one every week. I mean, last week I was with Scott McCain. Scott McCain's a Hall of Fame speaker on the global stage. He commands £70,000 an hour for keynote presentations. So wow. I get to interview him for an hour. And he's just unbelievable in his area of expertise. So I do that each and every week. And we're just giving it to the marketplace. We're just letting you hang around the world's best that can help you grow personally and in business. So every Friday, 4 p.m, tune in.
Absolutely. So when we finish, put a link in here so people can go and find it, because it really is a good interview. Thank you so much. We've gone over our 50 minutes. I've got one more question for you. But before I ask that, I'm just going to quickly go to the next time I'm on and just share who I've got with me. I've got the lovely Louise Wilcox. So she's a money specialist. She's helping people budgeting. She's a bookkeeper and a money coach. So looking forward to having a chat with her. So my final question then, James, what tip would you give your 16-year-old self if you could go back in time?
Set bigger goals.
Oh, I love it.
At a young age. Set some bigger goals. Share them with as many people as you can, and get several coaches at a young age. I've got 5 coaches around me now, and fortunately for me, these are the world's best in specific areas. And I just wish I'd done it sooner. So and that all comes from seriously high level goal setting at a young age. Get really clear on your objective. There you go.
Fantastic. James, it's been an absolute delight. Thank you so much for interrupting your lunch to come and have a chat with us. And I look forward to seeing what you're doing and all the wonderful things on a Friday afternoon. Take care. All the very best. Cheerio.
Bye for now.
You get out what you put in. Never gonna